It's almost the end of the year, and I want to ask how many of you have ever made a New Year's resolution? And if you have, if you could write in the comments, have. If you have not, just write have not. And then I really want to break down some statistics that I found on Google that you could look up just to verify so you can understand what I'm trying to accomplish on my channel. I believe that habits are the biggest thing that is holding everyone back is our pattern, right, of habitual habits that we have. And so not only am I going to break down some statistics and how you can beat those statistics, and I'm going to give you a bunch of content that I've observed through my journey, plus through my mentors and the people that I study. I really want you to become aware that you're not alone. None of us are alone, right? When we're in the program, we just are unconsciously going through life. And so it's the end of the year. If you're serious and really want to see some changes in 2025, I'm going to give you some easy, practical tactics that I found from my observation of working with people, working on myself, and all my mentors have showed me that really work. And then stick around to the end. I'm going to give out some bonus information to really help, because part of the right, I know money's a big thing. I don't talk about money a lot, but I've talked to a lot of therapists and I've read a lot of books, and most couples and most people are struggling with money. It's a staggering statistic if you really dive into how bad it really is. And some of the things I'm going to talk about have been suggested to me, and I've observed them and implemented them, and really just want to give you the most valuable information I can that I've verified, that I've done or seen done, so that you have as many opportunities to really change any part of your life that you really want to, right? It's the end of the year. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions. I just want you to listen to these numbers that I just pulled. I knew it was really bad, but and I don't know if this is just because 24 was a hard year for a lot of people, and so the numbers have changed. But it's not good. So 30% of Americans set New Year's resolutions, right? And out of that 30%, 23% of the 30% quit by the end of the first week. Out of the 30%, 43% quit by the end of January. One to 3% of people that actually set New Year's resolutions make it to the end of the year. If you've watched a couple of my videos, you know that I've made a huge observation from all of the stuff I've gathered and the people that have mentored me and the people that I've worked with. There is a 97% population and a 3% population. And the only thing that is standing between the two, I believe, is understanding how to make a committed decision. Make a committed decision and actually force yourself in the beginning to take the action that you need to take on a daily to change the habit that you're used to doing, which is not doing that. We can't just replace habits. We can't just say, hey, habit, go away. Don't bug me anymore. It doesn't work like that. We have to identify the habit we don't like. We have to really look at it. We have to make a conscious decision to put another habit that is going to serve us in its place. And then we have to use repetition to make that happen. And so I know a lot of people are struggling with money. And so I want to just talk a little bit about the things I've observed that really could make a huge impact in people's lives. You know, from Tony Robbins to Elon Musk to Myron Golden I could go on and on and on. These people all say the same thing. Warren Buffett, all of them. You have to be consistent, and you have to change your mindset around money. And I just, from my observation, we overlook the importance of that statement. Instead of actually focusing on that statement and taking action to remove that negative belief, it's easier to just, because it's not a habit, to just say, well, if I had money, or if I could just figure out a way to get an extra $500 or $1,000, right? And we never take time to actually look at this negative belief on what is our negative belief around money. Because if you don't believe you deserve money, I don't care what you're doing and how hard you're working, you're just not going to attract it into your life. I've spent a lot of time studying people. This is one of the big observations I've noticed with lots of people. They had to make a committed decision and sit down and write down that they had the belief. They had become aware that they had that belief. Then they had to find out, why do I have that belief? Usually it's linked to a parent or an uncle or someone, an authority figure when you were a child. You heard, we can't afford that, or money doesn't grow on trees, or whatever it is, or money's the root of all evil, or you heard some of these sayings so many times, you just unconsciously accepted it, that we're born on the wrong side of the track, or money's not an option for you, or something that you believe that has become one of your major beliefs. And if it's a major belief, you're never going to spend time trying to understand and fix the root of the problem. So I really want to break down just a couple of things that I really think I know no one likes to hear the word budget. Some people are on a budget and they do really good, and they've figured out that if you just write down a budget and follow it, you have money at the end of the month. By having money at the end of every month, eventually at the end of the year, you have quite a bit of money. If you do that over 2 or 3 years, right, you can change your whole family's tree. And it doesn't matter. They've studied millions of millionaires. It doesn't matter if you're making $40,000 a year, 60, 80, 100, 120, it doesn't matter. If you're making $200,000 a year and you spend $210 because your habit is to spend more than you earn, you're not ever going anywhere. And money is a huge problem when it comes to divorce and being unhappy and being jealous and being bitter and your existence is talking about people that have money negatively and not liking anyone who has money because you think they're evil or you think that it's unfair. And I'm not saying that there's not a lot of wealthy people that are evil and not good people. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that if you really look hard, you'll find millions of people with money that do amazing acts of kindness constantly all year long. So the big thing is, You need to be consistent, but more importantly than just being consistent in whatever avenue you're going to try to change your money, it needs to be intentional. If you're just being consistent to check off a box and say, oh, yeah, did that step, you're not getting better, right? So you could go through a whole year of just checking off a box and never really learning anymore or understanding deeper to really start to really compound what you're really trying to do. So if you just can become intentional, hey, I'm going to try to save $5 a week. And by being intentional, pretty soon you're going to be like, I can do $10 a week. Hey, I'm going to go for $20 a week. And you really start to compound. Hey, I'm not going to go out and eat tonight. I'm going to stay home and cook something, and I'm going to put that $40 I was going to spend, or $80, or whatever the average meal is for you and your family, I'm going to put that aside. 2025 is almost here. Right? There's things happening in the market that are it's going to affect a lot of people. We really need to pay attention, and we really need to start thinking about avenues that can really get us so that we don't have to rely on anything else. If the market crashes, we're going to be okay. So I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. Start getting online and actually writing down and looking at and trying to find what's really coming, right? This commercial housing crisis is coming. Residential housing crisis is coming. Interest rates, inflation, like things are happening. AI. There's going to be jobs that just don't exist ever again. So I really want a really simple thing to do to start 2025 off with a bang is find a real tax expert. They can get you $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or $5,000 extra on your tax return to start 2025 off with a push. I suggest that you guys, he's on Instagram, he's all over the place, but Carter Cofield, he really breaks down, he's a CPA, and he really gives massive amounts of free content that can really help you understand what you can really write off and what you can't, and gives tips and techniques on how to grasp as much of that money that you've paid out in taxes back for yourself. But if you had an extra $5,000 to start 2025, things would be a lot different for you. Or for most people. Maybe, I don't know. You might be all right. You might be set up. You might have really good habits. I just think it's very important to be intentional and really, we have to take time looking at, understanding, writing down our finances. We can't just go, well, I get paid next Thursday, so I'm not going to pay attention to how much I'm spending this week because I know more is coming. Because if you get laid off, you don't get that luxury anymore. And the sooner and quicker you can get organized, you can really, I mean, they've studied so many millionaires. And I'm not talking about the inherited wealth or started a company. I'm talking about normal people like you and me that have a 9-to-5 that become millionaires. And they, within 12 to 18 months, if you're diligent, you can get out of all debt. Now, some people it's longer, obviously. Right? There's strategies where you can pay your house off in 21 years or 17 years or 7 years. Just by doing a little extra every month, diligently and intentionally working. And the amazing thing is, by the end of 2025, you're going to have so much knowledge and understanding that 2026, you're going to compound that. right? And then it starts a snowball effect. So 2025 is almost here. I appreciate you guys. Please like and subscribe. That extra bonus there, that Carter Cofield, please find him. At least give him a shot to give you some tips and techniques and tactics and strategies that can really help you in 2025. Right? If you're making YouTube videos, you can write off a portion of your mortgage. If you are, have a camera and take lots of pictures, right? There's ways to save money on your taxes by doing little simple things. And one is just being organized and understanding the tax code. There's an old saying that 10% of anyone in any industry is a professional and the rest aren't. 90% do the bare minimum and don't know and go above and beyond and refresh every year and learn the new things and get better. Right? They just do their tax season. They don't care if you get more or less. They just do the bare minimum. You want to find a specialist. Thanks, guys. Please like and subscribe. You guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.